I did get a chance to catch the Teddy Riley Uncensored that you posted on your halftime chat channel.
Okay.
Ah,
What were your
very
thoughts?
interesting. Because this is the thing. When I was watching Teddy's um, interview, I saw a lot of. It's a very controlled environment. Like there's no actual interviewer sitting with him face to face, asking him questions real time,
Yeah.
answering. So I don't know how produced that interview was, but I mean, it seemed. I mean, he's kind of portraying himself as a victim, which I can see him being a victim in a
Okay.
lot of the interview. But I just a couple of questions I want to know in regards to because he spoke on the breakup with Blackstreet,
Yeah.
and I walked away from it thinking, why did Chauncey have so much power in the group? He said he met Chauncey as he was auditioning as a backup singer. He clearly was looking for an opportunity to get into the industry. You're the Teddy Riley,
Yeah.
so you already have several years of success. You have a couple dozen of hits out. You got multiple, platinum albums and number one singles at this
Mm.
point. And then you partner with a very virtual unknown nobody that's basically a background singer. You partner up with this person, so you're already unequally yoked with this person. You have this, this track record of success, and this person has nothing to their name.
Yeah.
And it seems because when you hear them talk about the group, it's always like a partnership. Chauncey's black and Teddy's street, or at least that's how they've traded. So
Yeah.
my question is, why after probably a decade of bad business um, handlings and dealings and soured relationships, was he so willing to trust this virtual unknown person? That was very strange to me, especially dealing with the Gene Griffins, especially falling out with Timmy and Aaron and Damien to some extent. So going into this new situation, um, I don't understand why Chauncey had the power, because remember he said in the interview, Dave came to him and said, "Hey, I need some money. I need a little bit more money. I guess because they're starting to get success." And he said he claimed that he was on board with Dave getting more money and like, yeah, go ahead, get what you need. And he said Chauncey interrupted and said, no, he's not taking any money out of my child's, mouth. So I'm like, well, okay, but isn't Teddy the boss? So how is Chauncey able to voice his concerns and stop somebody else getting money when they're talking directly to the boss? So it's a
Mm.
strange relationship there. It's just a strange how. Then he also goes on to say how he put up Chauncey into his old house or apartment, and he paid up all the bills for a year, and paid his expenses for a year. I mean, did he do that for all the other members or just Chauncey? So it's some bad business decisions, um, and to me a questionable business relationship. Like I don't understand. That's like Timberland. Um, one of his groups was Players. So let's say Timberland, he forms a friendship with Black of Playa, and now all of a sudden this virtual unknown singer that has no track record of success. Now I'm going to partner with him and make a record label, and we're going to be, it just doesn't make sense business wise.
Mm.
It doesn't make sense.
I mean, you raised some
I mean, what
interesting
are your
thing.
yeah
Yeah, you raised some
yeah?
interesting
What are your thoughts?
thoughts about the Blackstreet situation. And I remember when they came out with the Baby Be Mine on the CB4
Right.
soundtrack, and it was Blackstreet featuring Teddy Riley.
Hmm.
And it's the Blackstreet from what the press was saying was Joseph Stone Street was street
Hmm.
and Chauncey Black was black. And that's how
Right.
the name came about. So it was Black Street. And which so it was a three-piece Chauncey, Levi, and
Right.
and Joseph Stonestreet. And I believe after the success of Baby Be Mine, he you know, because I know that from other interviews, he hadn't planned on going back. He had planned to actually go back to Guy.
Right.
So he had planned. He thought about it. Let's go back together with Guy. But at the time that Blackstreet came out, Aaron and Damien were looking at their own album solo deals. So they weren't ready to re-engage with that. Hence, it seemed as if from previous interview clips I've seen is that Teddy then said, "Okay, you know what? Why don't I be part of this?" And you know, actually,
Well, he said in this interview that he saw interview clips from Aaron and Damien saying, "We don't need Teddy. We can do we can do it on our own," because people were questioning them if they could be successful on their own. And so Teddy said, "Oh, well, then that was my answer. I'm staying with the group. I mean, I'm going to be a part of Blackstreet." And it was almost like a petty rivalry, almost like, okay, well, Aaron and Damien think they can do it without me, kind of thing. I sense a lot of pettiness from Teddy Riley, very low level pettiness that you would kind of get in high school. But no, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. So
no, I think no, because I think, as I mentioned, that it's it's from what I thought. So this is me being a fan. You know, we didn't have any social media then. All we really did have was what you read and write on Black Beats and stuff.
right.
And you know, there was not much of no internet, I think, and you know, so you didn't really have much to go by. And so the rumor was, okay, this was his group, and because he was producing, think about 92, 93. He'd done the Bobby album. He had Brexit Effects that he was sort of part of. He just had so many things. So to be tied into a group, and so my impression was, as I said, that he initially had planned to go back to for Guy to, okay, let's release albums and come back. But it felt as if Guy had, they recorded the track for New York Undercover, Tell Me What You Like.
Right.
And so that was almost like an attempt to re-engage. But then whatever happened, and I said that, whatever happened, they couldn't agree on things. And so it was.
Didn't that come out in 95 though? That
Yeah,
New York Undercover soundtrack?
Yeah, but a lot of
Blackstreet came out in.
a lot of the songs, from what I heard, is a lot of the songs that they were doing initially for Blackstreet was supposed to be for Guy. A lot of the background work was supposed to be for Guy, and I believe Universal MC at the time was still in support of Kate come back with a Guy album, and so we'll give you a budget to start recording some songs. But when he didn't get the buy-in from Aaron, it seems as if then he said, okay, what can I do with this? And then the option of, okay, these guys were already working in the studios on the Bobby album. So if you read the liner notes, you'd see Levi's name and Chauncey.
Right.
I don't know if Eric was on there, but and Dave as background singers are on a number of tracks. No, Eric wasn't there on a number of tracks. So they're already there. And then he just thought, why don't we think about putting up a group together? He told Chauncey this because he was already there, and Dave, and he says, look, do you and no, actually it was just Chauncey and Chauncey he spoke to about, let's think about putting together a group. Joseph Stonestreet was already around, and he was there, so they and they recorded the CB4 track around 92. But for some from personal reasons, Stonestreet couldn't fulfill the commitment to be in the group, and that's where they auditioned Levi and Dave to be part of that. And then Teddy decided, actually, I want to be part of the group. And I don't know if that is because Aaron and Damien had solo gigs and had stuff coming out, and it was almost like, well, I need my name up, and I'm just saying, it's a good way of getting myself exposure. Let me join the group. I've seen an interview when Blackstreet were preparing for the Another Level album, and Chauncey was saying it when Teddy was there that, you know, Teddy came up. No, it wasn't. It was a BET, the man behind the music.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
If you've ever seen the doc, it's on Teddy. And Chauncey explained, yeah, Teddy said, why don't we form a group? And he says, what a group, you know, because he was just happy just being around. And he said, yeah, and you want to be in it? I mean, the world famous Teddy, and they were accepting on that. So that was the sort of the gist that I had. I mean, I think when I watched the Uncensored, it seemed strange and really upsetting to see that it was really out there. You know, I don't know how much it was good to be airing some of these personal things in public like that.
Well, you had somebody in your comment section say, yeah, every time I hear the more about the Teddy Riley story, I'm learning something new. And I commented, yeah, because the story keeps changing.